Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the Truth. I'm going to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, all my lovers, haters, triggers, peaches, commenters. Each and every one of you, I welcome you to my channel, and scallywags. I don't know what year it was, but it was the year when Al Gore was running against George Bush. And at that time, I had made it up in my mind that in my lifetime, I wanted to see a woman president of the United States. I knew nothing of Hillary or anything like that. But or maybe I didn't, I don't know. All I knew, oh yeah, I did know that Hillary might have been a contender if, George Bush would have. Anyway, let me finish the story. The dates are confusing. So what happened was that I wrote a manifesto and I handed it out in front of Times Square. And it said, first woman president of the United States, I think it was in 2008, vote for the Bush in 2004. And I handed it out because the play on word was Bush. Bush and Hillary, woman, Bush, that type of thing. And for those of you who I need to explain it. So I wanted to see a woman president in my lifetime. Because I always felt a woman would be more concerning about what happened to the people within the United States and those who are marginalized and who are often forgotten. So I've always kind of been involved in politics. Brother, I work with the board of electors. I worked on the board of electors each voting cycle. Registering people and also at the poll booths. It was a good gig. It paid $200 a day, and I was happy to be a part of it. So in a roundabout way, when I moved to Vegas, when Hillary was running, I also did some things for Obama, but when Hillary was running, I volunteered at one of her campaign sites, where I answered phones or made phone calls and what have you, and I voted for Hillary, but she didn't win. So be that as it may, here we are again, in my lifetime with the possibility of having a woman president of the United States. That's what I want to see. Kamala Harris, who you see is on my T-shirt that says I'm with her. I just found out that some of the guys who I play with are offended by my having it on my shirt, and I got it because I knew I was going to wear it. I was going to wear it every time I played. Was it intentional that I wanted to offend someone? By having her on my shirt, maybe so. But this video I'm about ready to show you, this is a video that I done 13 years ago. I posted on my YouTube channel. And it's gotten so many millions of hits. And I want to share it with you because even though I'm here in the Philippines, I'm trying to, let it be known that I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Not only because of who she is, but because she's a woman. And yeah, I want to see a woman president of the United States. And I tried voting, how do you call it, online in Las Vegas. And when I put in the information and whatever, they wouldn't let me vote, or they wouldn't let me cast my vote because of, I guess, the Philippines or whatever it is, but they won't let me vote. So I wasn't able to cast my ballot. But I have been able to at least, keep her in conscience by wearing the T-shirt. Now this video I'm going to show you is a remarkable video. It's of Adam Clayton Powell. And I want to share it with you. And then at the end of it, I'm also going to add a number of my, this is on, I think I got 3 or 4 YouTube channels before I knew that I could monetize them, you know. But I will put them up in case you want to see some of my early work. All right, so thanks for joining me. Let me put this footage in here. And it's the power that what you have in your hand, as you can tell by the name of this. It's called What's in Your Hand. Okay, and I'll be right back after this video.
Powell, for the first time, was defeated. Charles Rangel won in a very close election. Within a few years, Adam Clayton Powell would contract cancer and die.
If we must die, let us not die like hogs penned in some inglorious spot. What use is an extra year or 2 to the man who kills the time that God has given him?
Much of the story of Adam Clayton Powell is on display here in this anteroom of the Abyssinia Baptist Church. But there are many parts of the Adam Powell story that you cannot see hanging up on the walls, mainly the ironies in his life. Isn't it ironic that Adam Powell was such a loud voice that few people would listen to? Perhaps if his loud voice had been heated on the question of police corruption, there may not have been a Knapp commission. If his loud voice about government corruption had been heated, there may not have been a Watergate. If his loud voice against hypocrisy on Capitol Hill had been heated, perhaps Wayne Hayes and Tom Dodd and Earl Butts and Carl Albert and countless others might not have been caught in such embarrassing situations. Adam Clayton Powell represents still another chapter in a long story of black militant fighters against oppression and injustice here in America. He wasn't perfect. He had his faults, but don't we all? The point is, he was a fighter. If he did play, he worked harder than he played. Most of all, he was a fighter.
As I know here, you're in trouble. Where it says about 30% are unemployed. That's why I'm working hard to get this surplus food here. Some of you say to me, well, I'm not like you. I'm not a congressman. I haven't got education. I haven't got work. But you're a human being. And you know what you've got? You've got in your hand the power to use your vote and to use even those few cents you get from welfare to spend them only where you want to spend them. A young slave boy stood one day before the greatest ruler of his day. And God said to Moses, "What's in your hand?" And Moses said, "Lord, only I've got a stick, that's all." He said, "Well, let me use what's in your hand." And God used that slave boy with a stick in his hand to divide the Red Seas, march through a wilderness, bring water out of rocks, manna from heaven, and bring his people to freedom land. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? George Washington Carver, who was so frail that he was traded for a broken down horse as a slave boy. And George Washington Carver, sitting in the science laboratory at Tuskegee, told me, he said, "Dr. Powell," he said, "I just go out in the fields each morning at 5 o'clock and I let God guide me. And I bring back these little things and work them over my laboratory." And that man did more to revolutionize the agricultural science of peanuts and of cotton and sweet potato than any other human being in the field of agricultural science. What's in your hand? Just let God use you, that's all. What's in your hand? I've got a string in my hand, that's all, and I'm flying a kite. And way up in the heavens, lightning strikes it. And I, Benjamin Franklin, discover for the first time the possibilities of electricity with a string in my hand. What's in your hand? Little hunchback sitting in a Roman jail? I haven't got anything in my hand but an old quill pen, but God says, write what I tell you to write. Paul wrote, I have run my race with patience. I've finished my course. I've kept the faith. Henceforth there's laid up for me a pot of What's in your hand, little boy? All I've got is a slingshot. And the enemies of my people are great and big and more numerous than we are. Well, little David, go down to the brook and pick out a few stones and come on back and close your eyes if you want to and pull back that slingshot and let it go. And David killed the biggest enemy, the leader of the giants, against his people, and his people became free, just letting God guide a stone in his hand. And a few years passed and David is a king. And God says, what's in your hand? He said, I've got a harp in my hand. He said, well, David, play on your harp. And he played, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Leadeth me beside still waters. Yea, though I walk through the valley and the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? Man hanging on a cross? I've got 2 nails in my hand. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraws thyself from me, whither shall I go? And that man, with 2 nails in his hand, split history in half, BC and AD. And what's in your hand tonight, people of Cambridge? You've got God in your hand, and he'll let you win, because he's on your side and one with God. Always in the majority, so walk with him and talk with him and work with him and stick together and fight together, and with God's hand in your hand, the victory will be accomplished here sooner than you dreamed, sooner than you hoped, sooner than you prayed for, sooner than you imagined. Good night and God bless you.
My post in that video is my way of, encouraging everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat, a liberal or Green Party, a libertarian. It doesn't matter, It's to let you know that you have the power to play a part in your own destiny, and it's in your hand, and it's you voting. These are the other YouTube channels that if you're curious and want to browse through some of my earlier work, you can get to see it. Okay. And on a lighter note, when me and I were having our baby, and the bill was like $70,000 or something like that, or for the hospital bill, which the money was there, so don't worry about it, don't panic, and but they had a thing called PL Health or whatever it is, and they jumped in and they paid maybe 2/3 of it, 2/3 of the bill for us. And I was like, wow, that's very nice. So I'm saying that to say this, that Samantha, my niece, who went home yesterday, and today I'll probably get to see her, visit her, so I get to do an interview there with her, or you get to see her. But the government has stepped in and paid her hospital bill. So it's a wonderful thing. The parents were ecstatic that the government approved it and that they stepped in to pay the costs. So say what you want about the Philippines, I think that was a damn good thing. All right, so thanks for watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elder, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. Hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ollie Woodson, formerly singing the Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make her feel like a king and never say no. I love you like a love song, baby. You know, sorry about the dog barking. You know, if it's not a rooster, it's a dog. They got a dog over there, but something. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Peace.